welcome everybody to another great episode of Real Life Matters. I'm wishing everybody Happy New Year. We can say it all the way in January just because it was New Year's on one day, but you could say Happy New Year all the way in January. So it's New Year's. So I'm just welcoming everybody, happy and wishing you all a prosperous, healthy, successful New Year. All the viewers out there that's been supporting me for a long time. But I also encourage everybody to look at all the viewers and the guests that I have on. Support their music, watch them, support them, give them a like, give them a little view, because that always helps all in their ratings too. But today I got a real special guest on for you today, and he's an up and coming rap artist, and he's Canadian, and we're gonna find out what he's doing. He just released a new song with another artist. We gonna rise, and I guess we're gonna find out what's going on with this about this world. We're gonna rise and arise after. But with no other further ado, I introduce to you Mr. Do.
Hey DBoss, how are you?
I'm good. But Mr. Do right? Or
Mr. Do, yeah, you got it. It's like Scooby Doo, but when you're this big and you got class, they call you Mister. Right?
Scooby Doo. I had somebody I knew that was called Miss Do Right. So I was wondering, well, what's the do for? But you were called something else prior to this, right?
Prior to, yeah.
Okay. All right. So can you tell everybody your where you're from and your cultural background? Because everybody likes to know that here.
Of course, definitely. So originally I'm from Scarborough, Ontario, which is in Canada, Toronto, Canada, aka the Six. I go by the Six as under God. Um, just based on just I feel like I've always been underrated. So coming up as a new and upcoming artist, yeah, I just want people to hear me. I just want to hear people to hear the message, and we're gonna go hard for 2023. So happy New Year to everybody.
All right. So how did you come up with the name Mr. Do?
So originally it was probably because my friends used to make fun of me and say that I would be eating my mom out of house and home, because like I was nonstop snacking. I used to literally sit in the kitchen watching my mom cook and trying to get my hand in the pot and eh boy. So
Oh, well,
um
we're hearing a little bit of something else background there from your
on my side.
accent.
Oh, from yeah. So I'm Chinese Jamaican. My grandmother was born in Hong
Okay.
Kong.
You see it coming out now.
Yeah, Morocco. But yeah. So originally, yeah. So my grandfather's from Jamaica. My grandmother's from Hong Kong. And so both my parents are Jamaican. They're both from Jamaica, and I was born in Canada. But I've just had a lot of the influence. Growing up, our family dinners consist of oxtail and curry goat and rice and peas. But then you also get like the chop suey and the chow mein and the cha sao. So it was really cool. It was really cool to grow up in that culture, and I got a lot of diversity, especially living in Toronto. So it was good for me.
Right. Well, this is, that's why I always ask people because their background, because, people that realize in Canada, and not just in Canada, all over, that, people come from different backgrounds and different places. And sometimes, people they'll say, how do you know Mr. Do had a Jamaican background or a Chinese background? So, it's good to, because there's so much diversification these days. So you have to make sure
Very true.
everybody, you know, gets recognized and recognize because they're getting to know you here, so this is what we're doing, right?
Amen to that. I believe it.
So what made you want to become a rapper?
Oh, that's a great question. To be honest with you, it's probably a great question, but it's an easy one to answer because I think it's just in my DNA. Um, as a child, before I was, probably could even walk, I was in the church. My mom's, probably God's number one soldier. I grew up in the church choir, sang lead. You know what I mean? Before you know, I could when I could hit the high notes, of course.
So
Um,
you can actually sing and rap.
that's right. Yes.
Okay.
So, and then I think that also gives me the versatility with my artistry, with being able to do both.
Okay. All right. So when you're thinking of your song, so where do you come up with your innovation, your creativity? Are you in walking down the road, you're having a drink, or you just said, or you're in the studio? So where do you come up with your songs?
To be honest with you, it could be it man, it could be from anything. Like you said, I could be literally just walking down to the mailbox and just hear a beat in my head and then something comes to me. Or I could be, you know, sitting listening to music. Something hits me. I could be reading a book. Um, Inspiration honestly comes from a lot of places, but I think that um it's best that we just keep like for me, keeping within my core and keeping to my culture. So because I'm an old school hip hop head too. I grew up on oldies like Lauryn Hill and Busta Rhymes and a couple of the older generation. So I like to keep that element in there as well. And so my inspiration comes from everywhere, to be honest, because I don't just listen to hip hop. I also listen to like alternative. I listen to some pop, some punk. You know what I mean? I'm not biased when it comes to music, and I think that's what makes me so
Very
versatile.
open to all genres.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So for you, um, and this is Real Life Matters, and this is the first time you're on here. So if you had to do a collaboration with somebody, or you'd want to do a collaboration, you could just name three artists that you would like to do something with, because you never know, people do reach out.
Three artists. I have to stay true to my cult, like to Yad. So I definitely love to do like a song with Popcorn. Um, he's one of my favorite artists. But probably somebody who paved the way for us. Also, somebody like Nas. Nas was a big influence for me. Um, Third person. That's a good question. Third person.
You don't
I'm
want
gonna
to do
have to
nothing with no women. No.
artist. I have to go to female artists. If I don't know if I didn't even know she's still doing music, but like maybe like Missy or like
Mm.
Rod Digga, like that's like my era. So it'd be amazing to even just see some of those people in person. It would be crazy for me.
Wow. No, I always ask people that because you just never know. Because a lot of people have come on my show, and a lot of people have reached out to them. Next thing, here they are in LA or somewhere.
That's amazing, and you never know. It's true. Anything can happen. You're right.
So, are you into any Afro beats music or anything like that, or not really?
Actually, I was just on a phone call with Chief Reckah, who's the other artist I have. Well, it's his song actually, and he just featured me on it.
Okay.
But he just literally showed me a beat that I think we're going to be working on. That's got kind of that Afro beats feel to it. So I'm excited to see what we're going to do with it.
Wow. So yeah, so you're right after you get off of here, then you're running into the studio or something, right?
Yep, we're sitting in the studio right now, so we're always in here.
All right. So tell us about this song now. Rise up.
We gonna rise, yeah.
We
So the
rise.
concept for this, I mean, it just kind of came from like COVID hitting and everybody being stuck at home and like everybody not just like physically, but like what it did to us mentally. You know what I mean? Like people don't want to talk to people no more. You know what I mean? So
They don't want to
I
come at
feel
your
like
house. They don't want to come at nowhere.
right. So I feel like the message in this is like we need to rise from it. We're gonna rise from it. You know what I mean? Um, we as the human race is we're pretty resilient. So I don't think something as I mean, in my eyes, minuscule as COVID, you know what I mean, can keep us down straight up.
Okay. Well, we're gonna hear this song, so you could do what you want. You could bop your head to it.
Oh
You
yeah,
can
I
sing,
love this. This is
or you just sing the parts where and this is sing the parts that you're because you're being featured on this song, right? With
I'm
With
featured
Chief
on this one.
Rocka.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
with
where's
Chief
he
Reckah. Yeah.
from? Chief Reckah. Is he from Toronto too, or is he out where you
Yeah,
are?
he's from Toronto. Yeah, he's from Toronto. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna rise. Let's hear it. Let's hear this song. All right.
From East Coast to T.O., flowing Panico, going in beast mode with no feds and no police, bro. Holding the kilo with no heat can get you beat on. Like Corleone up in the street, this is Finito. You as a leader, you couldn't handle where the chief go. I'm pushing buttons, though I already know the cheat code. I'm skipping levels, but the screen seem to repeat. So I'm pulling out the line to make these freaks blow. Yo, cause everybody could act hard and hold shotties. These little bodies are dead inside like cold bodies. Set you up like a new bed from IKEA. If you see her again, she gonna die probably. Why honestly lie and try to multiply? I'm cutting off supply with no room to breathe, you oxidize. And what's the sense of going off to ride with people who are not alive unless they're elevated in the prophet's eye? Everybody outside like we live in the streets, but there's a bull going on, so we killing the beats. We gon' rise. We gon' rise. To all my people passed on or dead in the ground, they probably heard it all before but never learned the sound. We gon' rise. Gon' rise. We gon' rise. From T.O. to East Coast, moving weight, feeling like Federico. We boast, hello, we smoke. We won't, for the fact they wanna knock us out like Evo. Check your ego. Got steady shooters, no free throw. Got me going, beast smoke. No, I don't wanna see you beat shows. You used to sneak codes cause you got your beat flows. Bad bitches only. Shout out to Migos. Always fresh. Ready to lay. No Fritos. Quarterbacking. Ain't talking that Marino. Scars on my face. Definitely no casino. Cashing out racks. With no casinos, lights, camera, action to win my thoughts, keep the bags close. Keep the fame, money is where Mr. Doobie at. Only smoking the finest cheaper, we call it Doobie Stacks. What does the world come into, Chief? It's nonsense. Famous 3 words now, I like, share, and crime. Everybody outside like we live in the streets, but there's a bull going on, so we killing the beats. We gon' rise. We gon' rise. To all my people passed on or dead in the ground, they probably heard it all before but never learned the sound. We gon' rise. We gon' rise. Don't listen to the lies. Remember, we gon' rise. No matter what they try, we gon' rise.
Wow, we gonna rise.
We got
Wow.
it, man.
Wow, well that's good. It's catchy. It's a catchy beat, you know what I mean? It's catchy, so we're gonna rise. So it's just I can see you guys just going, we're gonna rise.
Yeah, we gonna rise. And it's got that old school too, right? Like that old school flavor, so like I felt like it was good also because like the video itself, he has like like clips and stuff from like Martin Luther King and the Million Man March, and you know what I mean. So the visuals were really he did really good
So
on
the
the visuals.
video, I encourage people to go watch the video.
Yes, I do encourage. Go and watch the video if you haven't seen it yet. It's on both of our channels. Yeah, both of our YouTube channels.
So what are you working on now? You said okay, you're working on that one that you said he just sent you a beat, but you're working on any other projects?
Yeah, we're so the next one I think we're doing is Worldwide Love. It's a different feel. I think you guys would like it. I'm gonna give you a little sample. I won't, not too much. But my little brother, he sings the hook. I wrote the hook, but he sings it for me because he's got a different age voice. I can't. That's the only way to say it. You know what I mean? That's the only way to say it because I'm almost 40. So like I don't. There's some things I can't do anymore. You know.
Okay.
She said she wanted a thug, freak, said she a freak. She said she wanted a thug. And I selling them drugs. But I'm just out here trying to get some of that worldwide love. In this day and age, wondering who can you trust? Sitting in the front, used to sitting backseat of the bus. People say they keep me going in pockets full of rust. Real is really, really where am I asking way too much? Feel I only see like a unicorn that isn't punch. I can always tell you fake from the bottom of my gut, which is why everything I hear you say is just a buzz. And why I can't digest prison food, cause it's way too much. And lately, I've been feeling like this worldwide love might save me. One, two, one, shawty said she a freak.
Yeah, so that's just a little
Yeah.
sample.
So what part is he singing? The fast part, or is it you?
That fast part was me. That's my verse. He does the hook where trying to get some of that worldwide.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah. But I originally wrote that. Like I originally wrote that hook, and then I just told him take it and then do his thing with it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's good. So we have a lot to look forward for, from Mr. Do. So you have any shout outs that you want to give to people?
Shout out first and foremost to the Lord Almighty, because without Him, none of this is possible. Shout out to my mom for raising a king, and shout out to all my peers and all my fans, everybody who's been supporting me. We're coming this year. 2023 is our year. We're taking over.
Okay.
And January 27th, a new release with me and Chief coming out called My Side.
You see, you got a lot of things under the cover there.
I do. I'm ready.
Well, when you think and you get a little more, and then you got your new song, just you could come back on and just release
Absolutely.
it. All right.
Absolutely.
So can you tell everybody your social media handles?
Absolutely. On Instagram, it's official mr.doo. On Twitter and everything else, it's mr.doo. Facebook page, Mr. Do, everything. My YouTube's a little different. You can still YouTube Mr. Do and it'll come up, but it's labeled under T6G, which stands for the Sixes Underground.
Okay. Well, everybody, you know what? Follow him. Go listen to the music. Go watch the video that we just played. We Gonna Rise.
Thank you for having me so much, DBoss. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I love y'all.
Yeah, and we love you too. So, everybody, good night and bye for now.